Hello everyone, it's Brian Akeem here, and today is my fourth live stream. Today is December 23rd. For all of you it's early, but Merry Christmas to all of you. Hope you all are having a great week with your families, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm doing this because I'm doing this today because I'm going to be pretty busy for tomorrow, the 24th and the 25th, as well as I'm sure of most of you will be. So, yeah. And Epic Zombie Killer asked me earlier when I was starting, and I finally got it working. I got it starting a few minutes late, but yeah. So, anyways, if any of you are wondering what's up with the thumbnail I have, I originally I was going to do like originally gonna take a shot in. Oh wait, Epic Zombie Killer says, "Hey, Merry Christmas, Brian." Well, Merry Christmas to you too, Epic Zombie Killer. It's a little early, I know, but you know, uh, I figured it's better to do a video before Christmas than after and say Merry Christmas. So yeah. Anyways, you. Oh, Eastside Badger says, "Merry Christmas, guys." Well, Merry Christmas to you too, Eastside Badger. Glad you guys came. I really appreciate it. And if you guys are wondering why I did this with the thumbnail, I just thought it would be really funny. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just I just thought it would be funny, to do. And yeah, I was originally gonna make Jerry into it like a Santa or like like some other character, but I decided that this will be much funnier. And even though I am a serious Walking Dead YouTuber, I like to think that we can all have a good laugh every once in a while. I mean, that's why I put jokes in my Walking Dead reviews, or mostly my Fear the Walking Dead reviews, like the text. So that's basically why I decided to do the alpha thumbnail. And I gotta say, I think I could have done better on it, sure, but I think it still turned out pretty good. I still think so. You guys can let me know what you thought of it, honestly. But yeah, so I hope both of you guys are having, a good Christmas week so far. Epic Zombie Killer says, "Hey Brian, you a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean movies?" Um, Not really. I mean, I know a little bit about them, but if I can be honest with you, I was actually when I was younger, I was just kind of scared of them, honestly. Like when the characters like I'm pretty sure it's them, right? The characters. I don't know too much about it, but they turned into like skeletons or something. Like at nighttime or something. Like I don't know. I was always scared of that when I was younger. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's something I just didn't really get into. I just but yeah, I know like like Johnny Depp. I think like he's the main character of the series, but I just wasn't a fan of not just the Pirates of the Caribbean, but really any pirate movies. I mean movies with pirates. I just wasn't a fan of those. It wasn't my thing. But yeah, thank you for the question, Epic Zombie Killer. So yeah, I so um we're pretty much caught up now. I guess I'm just gonna wait for some more people to come, but or for some more comments and questions. But yeah, if you guys just curious, like when you guys saw the thumbnail, what did you think? Did you know it was Alpha? I'm just curious. Like, did you immediately know it was her? Did you, I don't know, maybe laugh? Because that's kind of what I was trying to, do with the thumbnail. Make you guys, I thought it'll be a good laugh. So yeah, and so while I guess wait for you guys. This wait, I know The Walking Dead season 10 is returning February 23rd, and this is a long wait. I mean, we have exactly like 2 months, and this wait is going to be tough, man. It's going to be brutal because, you know, we want to see what happens to the characters. Like, do they get out? What happens with Negan and Alpha? And I'm excited for the second half, but like, I just hope like it doesn't disappoint. I don't think it will, but I'm just saying like the second half set up so much stuff, and I can't believe they're gonna get all that done in just 8 episodes. Like that's crazy. Epic Zombie Killer says Q&A. Hey Brian, my opinion: the scenes in season 2 with Carl surviving getting shot is wasted. Yeah, I agree, Epic Zombie Killer. I mean, like I never really got it. Like Rick gave Carl his hat, that was like passing it down kind of thing. And even when Rick gives Carl the gun in the barn in the second half, I think, yeah, in the second half of season 2, he says that I'm gonna die, your mom's gonna die, we're all gonna die, but you have to be ready for it. I remember that scene, and that is a necessary scene if Carl's gonna survive, but because he didn't, like, what was the point of it? Like, I just don't understand why you build up. The whole series has been building up to Carl, gonna have to live without Rick. He's gonna have to live without his father and his mother. Like, and you just kill him off. Like that was just wasted. But yeah. So yeah, thank you for the thank you for the comment, Epic Zombie Killer. Eastside Badger says it was funny. Realized it was Alpha. Yeah. Well, thank you, Eastside Badger. Yeah, I could have worked on it some more, but this week has been kind of crazy. I mean, I've got family, and like I've got like church programs and like things to prepare for. So this week has been kind of crazy as well as work. So yeah. But thank you. Eastside Badger says 10B needs to have some extended episodes. Yeah, I think so too, Eastside Badger, because 8 episodes just for like the entire Whisper War, and the Whisper War still hasn't started yet, and we don't know how season 10 is going to end. We don't know if it's going to be the end of the Whisper War or if it's close to the end. We don't know. Like, we don't know if Beta is going to be dead. So yeah, I mean, we just don't know. But thank you for the comment. Epic Zombie Killer says, same with him getting shot in the eye in season 6. Yeah, I mean, Rick said, I want to show you, the world, that's like a new world, and I need you there, need you to live. That's what Rick said to Carl when he was knocked out. And looking back on it, I mean, even Scott Gimple, he wrote season 6. How could he, I mean, just not I just don't understand where it comes from killing Carl. Like, this whole series has been building up to, Rick eventually dying at some point and Carl needing to survive. Carl becoming stronger and eventually is going to see the world that his father builds or helps build, but it just doesn't. I just don't know. I mean, we could talk all night how it was just a mistake to kill off Carl, but that definitely is a scene. Now looking back on it, I just think, what was the point of that scene? But and that stinks because No Way Out that Scott Gimple directed, like that was one of the best episodes I think he's ever done, and as well as in the series, I'm pretty sure. And now looking back on it, like that scene is definitely like unfortunately tainted because of what we know in the future. And I'm not saying like you can't have a scene where a character can't die, but the fact that it was Carl and what that scene meant, it just made no sense, to kill him off when the scene, is supposed to foreshadow, that he's supposed to live longer. But yeah, thank you for the comment. So yeah, we're all caught up now. While we while I wait for some more. Oh wait, never mind. Eastside Badger says Carl should have been recasted. I understand filming Chandler due to his lack of effort, but recast. Yeah, I agree. I don't know what actor. Maybe you guys know, but they should find an actor who looks a lot like Chandler Riggs when he was younger. Just get an actor, a young actor, male, who just looks a lot like Chandler, and basically after Rick is supposedly killed in season 9, episode 5, after the time skip, like the 6 year or 6 7 year time skip, just recast Carl with a different actor, but he looked like Chandler did when he was younger, so it wouldn't take us out of the experience too much. So and that could work. Chandler can go to college, and they could still do Carl scenes and flashbacks. In like they could still do like flashbacks, like the one that Michonne and Daryl had with. I'm trying to remember her name, but Michonne's friend who kidnapped those kids. So yeah, they could have done it so much better. But yeah, I just don't understand it. Um, but yeah, thank you for the comment, Eastside Badger. I mean, they really should have just recasted Carl. They should have kept him just a little bit until season 9, and then just recasted him after the time skip. That could have worked so much better. I mean, it wouldn't have been that hard, I don't think. Epic Zombie Killer says, yes, exactly. He should have been recasted. He should have been casted. Yeah, I'm not sure who, though, you could recast Carl with, but I know that everyone in the world has like a person who looks just like them, so it just can't be hard to find, a young guy a couple years older than Chandler, and like maybe his younger pictures show that he looked like just like Chandler. So Epic Zombie Killer says Jocelyn. Yes, thank you, Epic Zombie Killer. Yeah, I mean Jocelyn is, I mean she was a good one episode antagonist, but she just wasn't that memorable. I don't know, something about her. Like, did you guys also think it was kind of weird, like that she wanted her kids to be strong, or the kids that she was with? So I guess that's why they left Alexandria. But what I don't understand is is isn't it a much smarter idea to stay in Alexandria? Like, because if they go out on their own, and you know what I mean? Like Alexandria they grow food, they have homes, they have necessary things to survive. If Jocelyn and them leave, and the kids leave, like, what does she intend to do? Live in that school forever? Like, what happens when a herd comes? What happens when they need to grow food? Like, I just don't know. Jocelyn's not thinking straight. That was just weird. But yeah, thank you, Epic Zombie Killer. I forgot it was her. Um, Eastside Badger says Chandler was into college life and The Walking Dead wasn't his priority. Yeah, I mean, I know that much, but I still think, like, they could have kept him for, like, another season, right? I mean, Carl doesn't do much in the comic books. Carl doesn't do much in All Out War. Like, instead of being killed off, like, if Carl survived, the only thing he would have had left to do was kill. Okay, so there's only two other scenes with Carl, I think, from the comic that we never got, like that should have been in season 8. So one of them was shooting some saviors to protect Rick and I think Nicholas, when Rick is injured by Dwight in the comics. And so that's one scene, and the other scene is Carl, and he's next to Negan, who's unconscious, and he's about to kill him. So I feel like they could have done, two more scenes with Carl, and then, had him in season 9 for a little bit. And then, Chandler or plays Carl, and he witnesses Rick's fake death, and then they recast him. So, like Chandler, like, he gave a lot for The Walking Dead, and I appreciate that, but, he should have been recasted, and, someone else being given, I guess, the title of Carl. Epic Zombie Killer says the only impact she made was that she was the reason why Michonne became so cold and untrustworthy. Yeah, I mean, I kind of get that. It's just that the way they did it was just weird, because, like, I really thought that, like, something happened between Michonne and Maggie. Like, Michonne blamed Maggie for what happened with Rick, but that never happened. And I mean, I get the X scars now, kind of, but, like, why did they mark them? Like, were they gonna kill him, like, right then and there? Because, like, why mark him? If you're just gonna kill him. I don't know. That was just a little bit weird, but like like that led to Michonne not trusting Maggie anymore, and did that lead to Maggie leaving? Like, I still don't know what the impact was. Epic Zombie Killer. I mean, did Maggie, like, because Michonne stopped trusting people, did Maggie stop trusting Michonne and then left all these years? I mean, I just don't know what's going on. Like, I mean, like like how much impact did Jocelyn really do? Like, we never got the full scale. But yeah, thank you for the comment. Eastside Badger says, "Good point. I think Jocelyn was basically running a cult." I'm guessing you're talking about what I mentioned earlier. Yeah, I mean, I kind of get, like, it's a cult of kids, but, like, wouldn't the smart thing to do would be, like, taking over Alexandria? Like, shouldn't Jocelyn have, like, used her kids and, like, you know what I mean, took over Alexandria, took all the guns, instead of just running away? And they were even gonna kill Judith, Marcus, I think Jonah, like the other kids that they brought from Alexandria, or they kidnapped. But, like, I don't know. It's just, like, what was her intention? Like, did Jocelyn want to free all the children? Because I just don't know. Because she was willing to kill Judith and the others if she had to, or the other kids were. So I just don't know. That was kind of weird. Eastside Badger says, what was weird about the Jocelyn Michonne thing was how did they leave Alexandria unnoticed? Yeah, unfortunately, Eastside Badger, that has to just do with plot, I think. Like, sometimes Alexandria has, like, tons of guards, and then sometimes there's nobody around. Like, I just don't get it. But yeah, like, I mean, like we saw one guy who was dead, but like no one knew who he was. I didn't care. No one cared. Um, he was dead outside, but I don't know how they went unnoticed. Because like some of the kids, they should have been like screaming or fighting because Marcus, who's Scott's adopted son, is like he was like maybe 9, and Judith is like 3 to 4. And there was also another kid there. Actually, there was two more kids. There was Alice and Jonah, I think, and they're around 10 or 11. So I don't know. Like I don't know how they kidnapped like 4 kids. You know, I guess it was in the middle of the night, but still there should be some guards. But yeah, very good question, Eastside Badger. I don't know how they got out of Alexandria. Plus, they took all the food too, right? Like, I'm no expert, but like, did the kids like take? I mean, they didn't take any guns, but did they take all? I'm pretty sure they took all the food too, plus 4 kids from Alexandria: Judith, Marcus, Alice, and Jonah. So I don't know how they did it. Yeah, that's weird. Epic Zombie Killer says, I will agree. I'm glad they answered the X-Scar question, but they should have answered why Maggie and Michonne were pissed at each other. Yeah, I agree. Even Tara, too, because Tara said, I'm not going back to Alexandria. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, what happened? Um, I mean, I feel like we should have had some confrontation or something with Maggie and Michonne. Like, we never saw that. I mean, like, I thought Lauren Cohan was supposed to be in one more episode in season 9, but she was only in 5 episodes. Like, that was it. And I don't know. It's just weird. Um, I mean, I think it would have felt more organic if Michonne turned back on Maggie and believed that it was her fault for what happened with Rick, and then, Maggie, left the hilltop to get away from all this. Like, I feel like that would make so much more sense. Like, but they never did that. And I don't know. It's just, I mean, maybe it happened, but it wasn't really clear. I mean, like Michonne says that she doesn't want to trust people, but let me think. I don't think I saw DJ or Laura, in the flashback, in the X-Scar flashbacks. So like, were they in Alexandria too? Like, I'm just saying, like, did Michonne not trust any people like outside of Alexandria because like, and did they not take in any newcomers that they already knew? I just don't know. I don't know. Um, that's weird. I can't recall if Laura and DJ and their ex saviors. I can't remember if they were in the X-Scar flashbacks, but I know they were in Alexandria after Rick's supposed death, after the time skip. But I don't remember if they were living there before the time skip. So I just don't know. Like, did Michonne let them live? Because the sanctuary fell, and they took in. I'm pretty sure they took in a bunch of saviors from the sanctuary. So um, even Negan's wife, Francine, I think, the redhead, who died as one of the Pike victims. So no, they took no, never mind. They took her in before that flashback. Never mind. So I just don't know. But maybe I'm just confusing myself. But yeah, thank you, Epic Zombie Killer, for the comment. So yeah, it looks like we're all caught up now. Let's see. What can I actually? Let me see. Let me think of something. Yeah, I think I got. Oh wait, never mind. Epic Zombie Killer says, I mean, in a way, it kind of is Maggie's fault for what happened to Rick. Plus, she told Daryl to distract Rick. Yeah, that's the thing, though. If Maggie is at fault here, then so should Daryl be. You know, I mean, you can't put the blame on Maggie and not Daryl. Like, people blame Negan for what happened with Glenn, for Glenn's death, but it was also Daryl's fault too. I'm just saying, like, Daryl should not get a free pass. And I understand that he regrets what he did. I'm sure he does, but when Daryl does something and then a person does this, he can't get none of the blame. He shares that. And I'm just saying, like, yeah, that's true. Maggie, she told Daryl to distract Rick, but Daryl is the one who did it. He accidentally put Rick in that situation where he, it fell in the hole and got injured, not by the hole, but with the herd, and like, Daryl accidentally put Rick in that situation, because he, distracted him and accidentally put him in that dangerous situation. So Yeah, I mean, it is kind of Maggie's fault for what happened to Rick, but so is Daryl's. I mean, he can't just get none of the blame and Maggie gets all the blame. It can't work like that. But yeah, thank you for the comment, Epic Zombie Killer. All right, so who would you guys? Now this is just a small question, but who would you guys say out of all the Walking Dead characters is the real like Santa Claus? Like it's not Alpha, but it's a character in The Walking Dead. When you think of Santa, you think of this character. And now this is I'm sure you guys will get this. I'm sure both of you guys will get this question correct. Let's see. Eastside Badger says Maggie and Daryl were definitely both to blame for Rick. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can't just put the blame on Maggie and or just Daryl. But I don't know. It's like Daryl is the only one who's still here, so I wonder which one feels the most blame because we still don't know, you know, like we still don't know how Maggie's doing after all these years. She's been gone for so long, both to us and to the characters, even longer for the characters. Oh, Epic Zombie Killer says Jerry definitely. Um, well, close. You're very close, Epic Zombie Killer, but there's a character who maybe he's not like Jerry, but he definitely has that Santa Claus vibe to him in The Walking Dead. But as far as Jerry, he's very close, but he's still not the character I'm currently thinking about. But I understand why you think that, because Jerry, yeah, he can definitely make a great Santa. But who would you say is like in another way can make a very great Santa? Like this character has been called Santa like years ago. Yep, Eastside Badger, you are correct. It's Herschel. Yeah, yeah. Rest in peace, Scott Wilson. I mean, such an amazing character and actor and man in real life. Just yeah. I mean, the show definitely wasn't the same, and even real life, obviously, it's not the same. But yeah, you are correct, Eastside Badger. It is Herschel. But for Epic Zombie Killer, Jerry is definitely a close second. Yeah, Epic Zombie Killer, also Herschel. Yeah, yeah, I know it's been a while, but yeah, glad you guys got it. Good job. But yeah, I miss Herschel. And out of all the characters, you can make to look like Santa. He definitely season 3 to 4 Herschel definitely had that Santa look to him more than any other character. Eastside Badger says he was one of my favorites. Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, I miss Herschel, so much in the story, but I kind of understand why he had to be killed off. But part of me thought that they were gonna give him like Bob's death or like Dale's comic death with the hunters and like the cannibals. Like part of me thought since he lost his leg that he was going to survive the prison battle and then eventually he was going to get bit and then lose his other leg, not to walkers but to the cannibals, and then he was going to die the same way Dale did in the comics and Bob in the show. So I really thought that for a while I thought he was going to get that death. Obviously, that was before season 4. Or, like, I guess, like, not before season 4, but definitely during. But, yeah. So, yeah. And, if you guys have any questions about the Rick movies, or even about the world beyond, like, am I going to review that series? Because I am going to. It's just that, I'm not sure how good it's going to do. Like, because I feel like it's just going to be another Fear, just a different version of Fear the Walking Dead, and I don't know, I don't want that to happen, but I am interested in the CRM group. So yeah. All right. Um, let's see. While I try to think of something to say, I think honestly. Oh wait, Eastside Badger says, "Are you looking forward to World Beyond?" I mean, partially. Like, I'm more excited about it than Fear the Walking Dead Season 6. But, like I said earlier, I'm just worried it's going to be another Fear the Walking Dead. But, I mean, I am interested in the CRM group. I just, I'm really worried about how they're going to make the characters, portray themselves. Like, I'm really worried, like, if the teenagers are going to come off as too cringy, or just too weird. Because honestly, when I look at the characters, I'm just thinking, like, is this really like the main cast you want for season one? And it's nothing against the actors, but I just think like they're not writing the right characters. Like, I mean, just the way they look visually, and I don't know, just something about it just seems off. It's like very millennial-ish, I guess. And maybe that's not like a word, but I'm just saying like they come off as kind of cringy, and like I can't even tell how old they are. Like, I thought they're supposed to be like college students, but one looks like he's in middle school, so I just don't know. But I am going to review it. Eastside Badger says, I think it gets one season. I mean, we gotta see how much the premiere gets, because Fear the Walking Dead season 1 episode 1 got like I think 10 million viewers for its premiere, and it's been going on for a while. So we need to see how many it gets in the premiere. I would say it's probably going to get like 3 million just in the premiere, and then it's going to go slowly down. And yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I cannot see multiple seasons out of this show. Eastside Badger says they should have piggybacked the new show with The Walking Dead, but as a standalone, I doubt it will work. Yeah, I don't know if it's a CEO who makes these decisions or it's Scott Gimple himself, but like I just don't like The Walking Dead main show needs all the help it can get. And if anyone disagrees, like, it's true, because the viewers, the viewership's going down, the actors are leaving, and the budget's always an issue. So I can't see it as a standalone franchise. Plus, like, are the survivors just going to be, like leaving and then looking for, the girl's dad or whatever? Like, what's the plot of the series? It's not like Rick finding his family. It's this group is just gonna go out of their safe zone. So I don't know. Epic Zombie Killer says Comic Crucial sucked compared to the TV version. Yeah, I agree, Epic Zombie Killer. I mean, they took a character from the comic and made him so much better in the show. But I mean, the comic and the show have their pros and cons. I mean, like, as far as like Herschel's family, let's see, I mean, one thing the comic had better is that Herschel's family in the comic, there were definitely like a lot more, so you could have done more with that. Um, you know, but in the show, obviously they shrunk down Herschel's family quite a bit, and I don't know, like, I mean, like, Maggie is, I think they made Maggie about the same as she was in the comic. I mean, I would say slightly better, but like now it's kind of like it's the same. Eastside Badger says Scott Wilson made Herschel Gray. Yeah, I agree, Eastside Badger. I mean the writing, you gotta give it to the writing team and to the actor. I'm not sure, like, because it's not. Obviously it's the actor, but if he's given the right things to do, then it works completely. And yeah, I started to get worried for Herschel throughout the series, and I guess his time was, unfortunately it came up in the middle of season 4, which sucked, but I understood it completely. Um, but yeah, I mean, like, Scott Wilson, yeah, he made Herschel great, but like other actors, I mean, like Andrew Lincoln made Rick great, but as far as like, can you guys say that Jeffrey Dean Morgan made Negan great, or can you say that, I mean, like Melissa McBride made Carol Gray, absolutely. But other times, can you say, Corey Payton made Ezekiel Gray, or like, what I mean, like the other actors? Because I think that's a good way to describe it. Like, would you say that this actor made this comic character that was brought into the show great? And I think that's a good way of telling it. If they were just, a good job or not. Like, I'm trying to remember Tyrese. Chad Coleman. Like, I don't think he made Tyrese Gray. You know, I mean, you guys probably know, but I've said before, I think Tyrese is one of the not best transitions from the comic to the show, and like, I'm not saying it was just the actor. Obviously, it was the writing, but I think it was partially, the actor, Chad Coleman. I just don't think he was the right actor to portray Tyrese. And there's a couple other characters I can say that they or actors that didn't make this character great. But yeah, Eastside Badger says, interesting side note: Don Draper was a consideration for the Negan role. Don Draper? Huh. Okay. I didn't know that. I gotta look him up at some point and figure out, like, is he like taller than Jeffrey Dean Morgan? Is he at least a little bigger? Because that's very important for Negan. But yeah, I mean, like, I definitely think Jeffrey Dean Morgan, like, he was a very good choice for Negan. But the fact that he wouldn't, like, put on weight before the role or before filming, like, I mean, if I was Scott Gimple, I think I would have chosen somebody else. And I don't know. I mean, would The Walking Dead be better or worse? We can never know. But, like, I don't know. It's just it's one of those things where, I mean, you think it might have went a different direction. But yeah, thank you for telling me that, Eastside Badger. Epic Zombie Killer says, my opinion, TV Alpha is better than Comic Alpha, with sparkling clean, which made no sense. Oh yeah, you're talking about when she takes off her mask and she's completely, like, shiny, like her bald head and everything, her face, everything's all clean. Even Lydia was. And yeah, I gotta admit, that's one thing better they did in the show. But yeah, I mean, as far as which one I liked more, I liked, like, visually, I liked Comic Alpha more, just because she was skinnier. It made so much more sense, because I don't know, it doesn't make sense to have, Samantha Morton. She plays Alpha really well, but you know she doesn't visually look too much like Comic Alpha. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know. I just think that they. I don't know. I mean, Comic Alpha is, I'm gonna say, it's skinny, and Samantha Morton is not a skinny person, so I don't know. But yeah, I definitely think that TV Alpha is better portrayed. You know. And Eastside Badger says, I forgot the Gus name from Mad Men. Guys, Don Draper was character on Mad Men. The actor put in for the Negan role. Oh, okay. I mean, I'd never seen Mad Men. Honestly, I haven't had the time. And also, like, The Walking Dead is really the only AMC show that I feel like just, what I mean, just spending time with, or watching. But yeah, um, I mean, maybe I can, like, look him up real quick while you guys, put in some more comments. So let's see, Don Draper, or is it Draper? Let's see, I'm looking at him now. In a moment. Let's see. Yeah, I could definitely see him. He definitely has that Negan look, you know. And he looks younger than Jeffrey Dean Morgan, so yeah. I mean, it could have worked, honestly. I mean, it really just depends on, you know, which actor and character, and how you rate him. But yeah. Epic Zombie Killer says, I feel TV Alpha looks like Comma Alpha when it comes to the face, but not the body. Yeah, I agree, Epic Zombie Killer. I mean, it can't be hard to do Alpha's face, because she's bald. But as far as the body, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of distracting, because, like, I mean, the Whisperers are a nomadic tribe or group that live like animals, and I don't know, just Alpha being like that, it just kind of confuses me. I mean, I don't know. It definitely kind of just, confuses me at times. Like, does Alpha, eat more because she's the Alpha, or is that just something we just need to not think about? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same and opposite with Negan. Like, I see Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the face for Negan, but not the body. So Epic Zombie Killer is, like, do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Negan and Alpha are like polar opposites. Like, because I can see Negan's face and be like, that is Negan, but when I see his body, that is not Negan. But it's the reverse with no, actually, no, never mind. It's like the same, I think, with Alpha. Her face, that's the face of Alpha, but the body is not. But it's a different way. Like Negan was too skinny, while Alpha is not skinny enough. So that part is the reverse. But yeah, so um, yeah, I completely agree. Thanks for the comment. Eastside Badger says Whisper War goes into season 11. What's your thoughts? Um, I honestly don't know. I think the Whisper War is going to end, but I still think the herd might be out there in season 11. I mean, what happened was like the Whisper War, I don't think they wanted to go it too long because they drug out the Savior arc way too long. I mean, they stretched it out like more than 2.5 seasons, so obviously people did not like that. And if they drag out the Whispers into season 11, that's basically like, not, if I think about it, like, yeah, that's gonna be like 2 seasons, and I feel like that would be a mistake. I mean, I think the herd is still gonna be out there somewhere, and maybe like beta, but I think the majority of the war should end by the end of season 10, and we really gotta get into the Commonwealth stuff. But yeah, thank you for the question, Eastside Badger. Epic Zombie Killer says, one thing I don't like about TV Negan is how he doesn't shut up. Comic Negan doesn't seem like a blabbermouth where TV Negan is. Um, well, I mean, I remember reading, and Comic Negan also was kind of a blabbermouth. I mean, he said like a lot of weird stuff as well. You know, things to Alpha and other characters that were inappropriate. But I just don't know. As far as like Negan being a blabbermouth, I think it's about the same. But I mean, it's a show, so obviously you need to pay. You got to pay the actor, for his lines, because if Jeffrey D. Morgan comes into to film an episode and he's not talking that much, I mean, maybe it's a contract thing. Maybe it's like I need to have this many words because why else am I here? So I'm not sure. That's not really an issue I have with TV Negan too much. Just like visually and um well, yeah, some of the things like the inconsistencies that Negan has had in the past. I think that comic Negan is much more consistent, but TV Negan was very inconsistent as a character when he was introduced. But yeah, but I do think TV Negan is in a pretty good direction now. I just I wish we saw him in the mid-season finale, but we didn't, and I think it was like 3 episodes where we didn't see him. So yeah, we saw him in episode 6, I think, and then we didn't see him in episode 7. We didn't see him in episode 8, and I don't know. I heard we might not see him in episode 9. So I just don't know. But yeah, let's see. While I'm gonna take a sip of water while you guys put in some more comments. Eastside Badger says, "How long can Kang stretch the Commonwealth arc, though? What comes after the Whisperers doesn't seem like much." Um, I mean, you make a great point, Eastside Badger, because there's not too much you can do. I mean, they have to get to the Commonwealth and then get introduced to it, and I don't know. I mean, the thing was, in the comic, Kurtman kind of like shortened the arc. I mean, like there was so much you could have done there. Like they could have done a civil war or like just anything like in the Commonwealth, but we didn't really get to see that. We saw the signs of it, and I don't know. How long can Kang stretch? Well, I think that we're gonna finish up with the Whisperers, like in like the first few episodes of season 11, like in the herd and all that. I think they're gonna finish that, and then I think that like around episode 6 we might see the Commonwealth soldiers and all that, and then like it'll carry into the second half, and I'm not sure how season 11 would end. I just don't know because I think they have to make the Commonwealth somewhat antagonists in the show because in the comic, like pretty much none of them were antagonists, and I just don't know. I mean, That's tough. I, I mean, like The Walking Dead, if it follows the comic route, it should end around like the middle of season 12, or like it. But if they stretch it out, I mean, I could see it ending at the end of season 12. But I don't know. They gotta introduce. They might introduce like more groups. I think King might introduce like smaller groups and stuff. But as far as like how long can a Commonwealth arc stretch? I mean, that's the end of the show. If I think about it, I mean that was the end of the comic, and I can't see what comes after the Commonwealth. I don't know. I mean, this is a really tough question, Eastside Badger. A really great question because I mean the Commonwealth. I mean, how is it not going to lead to the Rick and the Rick movies? I mean, I don't know. It's just it's really tough. But yeah, I might have to get back to you on that one. But I think that the first half of season 11 is going to be them knowing the Commonwealth exists, finishing up the Whispers, and then getting to the Commonwealth. And the second half will be the like politics of the Commonwealth. So yeah, thank you for the question. Epic Zombie Killer says, my opinion, they should have introduced Negan in the season 8 premiere. I mean, that was episode 100 after all. Um, well, I mean, I used to think they were going to do that, Epic Zombie Killer, but the thing about the show is that it doesn't have to be like the comic in that way. So, I mean, like, that's tough to say because, like, hmm, like, what would they have to? They would have to fill out like so much more story. I mean, like, see, they would have had to fill out like they would have had to stretch like No Way Out into like another season or something. I can't see how like you can introduce Negan in season 8. You know what I mean? The thing about the show is it doesn't have to do one issue per episode. In fact, I actually think that's a mistake. Doing one issue per episode is just a really slow story. I mean, sometimes it works, like the premiere of the Walking Dead show, but other times it does not work. So I understand why you think that, but the show would have like been so much slower paced. You know what I mean? But yeah, thank you for the comment. Eastside Badger says, right now I see a full 16 episodes for season 11. I doubt we will get 16 for season 12. I bet season 12 will get 8. Um, do you think they're going to go like a Game of Thrones route where they're going to make the last season or two much shorter because they're concluding the story? Because, I mean, I definitely think they can do just a little bit more than like 8 episodes in season 12, but I mean, yeah, I definitely think season 12 is going to be the last season. And I mean, not many shows get that far, And as far as like, yeah, I think 16 episodes for season 11, and as far as like season 12, I'm not really sure. I don't know if AMC wants to shorten the episodes because I think the more episodes they do, the more money they make, but they're not going to do like 20 episodes because I think that probably has like scheduling issues with like Fear and other things. So that's probably why they kept it at 16. But like The Walking Dead, if it needs to change how many episodes it has in a season for the story, I mean, just do it. Like like if I was Scott Gimple, I would have made season 7 the entire Savior arc, and I would have had it be 20 episodes or like 18, 20 episodes, and I would have combined season 7 and 8 into like you know what I mean, like just one big season, and then season 8 would be the new beginning, and it would just have 16 like normal, or yeah. So I don't know. I mean, other seasons. I mean, I'm pretty sure other shows do that. Like they change how many episodes they have depending on the story. I mean, the thing is, they can't do it like Game of Thrones. Like they can't have like so few episodes in the final season, and then like just you know what I mean, like make it crash because like that's what Game of Thrones did. Like they needed more episodes in Game of Thrones, and if The Walking Dead has a story in season 12 that needs more than 8, it would be a mistake to only do 8. So yeah, thank you for the comment, Eastside Badger. Epic Zombie Killer says, well, I think season 7 would have been better if Glenn died in the finale, and oh wait, I would have better if Glenn died in the season 6 finale, and season 7 was the characters grieving. I mean, hmm. I mean, yeah, they should not have done the cliffhanger, but even Glenn dying in the season 6 finale, I mean, even that is like, what would be the point of that with the whole dumpster thing back in episode 3 of season 6? Episode Thank You. So I mean, I still think that would have been better than the cliffhanger, because I still don't understand the cliffhanger. I mean, it was bad. I mean, I don't know if it was as bad. I don't know if what was worse, the Morgan cliffhanger and Fear, season 5, but it was bad. And season 7, like the characters grieving. I mean, obviously you can't do it for like a whole season, but I mean, yeah, I think that the premiere of season 7 would obviously be the characters grieving, but then you would have things pick up, or at least I would have had. Um, but yeah, I mean, they shouldn't have dragged out to death, Negan's victim from season 6 to 7. It should have just ended right there in season 6, and then season 7, is just the characters figuring out what to do next. Yeah, plus that messed up with the trailer big time. I mean, they didn't like they couldn't show half the characters in the show in the trailer, and we knew that Rick and Carl were alive. It was just such a mistake. Thank you for the comment, Epic Zombie Killer. Eastside Badger says, definitely the Game of Thrones route. I just hope they don't do 8 for 11 and B for 12 like they did with Mad Men. I'm not. Oh, I don't watch Mad Men, so I don't really know what you mean, but I'll take your word for it, Eastside Badger. I mean, yeah, they can't do something like season 7 has, or season 11 has, like 7 episodes, and then season 12 has like 6. They can't do that because that's too few episodes, depending on the story that they're doing. So yeah, it's just not going to flow consistently, you know. But yeah, Eastside Badger says, I agree with Epic. The cliffhanger was the start of the ratings downturn for The Walking Dead. Fans got tired of talking about it all summer. Yeah, I mean, fans were like 6 months. That's all anyone was ever talking about. Like, who did Negan kill? Who did Negan kill? Not how are characters going to get out of this, or how they're going to defeat Negan, or what's happening at Alexandria, or is Carol going to be okay? Like, no one was talking about that. It was just who did Negan kill? And oh, um, sorry about that. My my door just opened suddenly by itself. I'm gonna go close it and come right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see where I was. Yeah, I mean, they should not have done, the season 6 cliffhanger, because I mean, with the whole Glenn dumpster thing, fans were angry, and rightly so. And then you just do that. I mean, that's not how you write a story. You don't build up, and then the climax is happening, and you just cut it. Like, you don't do that. That was just such a mistake. I mean, honestly, like, at this point, like, I mean, do I need to like label these live streams like Gimple mistakes? I don't know, but yeah. Thanks for the comment. Epic Zombie Killer says, if not, then I'd have Glenn die in season 7 premiere and keep Abraham for season 8. Um, you mean like keep Abraham for an all-out war death? Because yeah, I think like they should not have killed off Glenn and Abraham in the same scene. It was a mistake. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they were. I just don't know. It's like Gimpo was thinking, maybe I'll do the comic, but you can't outdo the comic. Not in certain areas. Like, when it comes to a death, you just have a death there. You know, because that's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a double death. You don't need to do. You don't have to look at the comic and say one character died there. Let's have two in the show. That's not how it works. You don't, because people didn't know. Even though even though Abraham died, most people cared about Glenn in that scene. That was just it. So Glenn's death overshadowed Abraham's. But if you kept Abraham around for season 8, then he could have been that main death instead of Carl. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, if Abraham survived, let's see. As far as like what kind of death I would have given him, I mean, it's kind of interesting. So one idea I had is, if Abraham survived the season 7 premiere, is that Abraham would have gotten like Sasha's death, but it would have happened in All Out War, not You know what I mean? Not like before All Out War, because that was another mistake Gimple did. I mean, like he killed off 3 characters that are very useful for the war coming, and he killed them off before the war. And because of that, Gimple couldn't kill off any characters in All Out War that would have made sense. So he killed off Carl, and that didn't make sense at all. I don't know. But as far as like Abraham's death, I would have given Abraham 2 possible deaths in season 8 for the All Out War season. So one of them would have been he gets Holly's comic death or Sasha's death, where he tries to stop Rick from crashing. Tries to stop Rick from crashing, the fence down, and he does it. And then Negan kills Abraham, and then eventually Abraham becomes a walker, but he has a bag over his head, kind of thing. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you understand. So that's one death I would have given Abraham. The other is I would have had Abraham at an outpost with like Rosita or Sasha or somebody, who cares for him, and then I would do it where like he gets shot in both legs, and like he has like Rosita or Sasha, they can't carry him. Like they need to leave. They have to leave him, and like it moves that character story forward. Because maybe Abraham is like, just like live, live for me, don't die, a worthless death, like kind of thing. And so yeah, that way Abraham, he would die in an outpost, and that would be like our big death for season 8. But yeah, I mean that's just what if I would have done if Abraham survived and he had 2 possible deaths. But yeah. Eastside Badger says Gimple was too cocky and thought The Walking Dead could get away with anything. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a couple things The Walking Dead can't get away with. I mean, obviously they cannot kill a baby, on screen. I mean, they can't do that, obviously. I mean, we have proof, they never killed off Judith in season 3 or 4, and they didn't kill off the baby in season 9, or Coco in season 10. Like The Walking Dead, it's not gonna go that far into the Game of Thrones territory, but it'll go far, but just not that far. But yeah, as far as like too cocky, The Walking Dead, it was great, absolutely, but it was at a pivotal moment in the franchise. Like it was, he had to be careful because he was going into the Negan, story, and that is so important, and he just butchered it. It's sad. So yeah, thank you for the comment. Epic Zombie Killer says, like back in season 8, I thought Gimple was trying to kill the show. Honestly, I thought he was doing that in season 7. Epic Zombie Killer. Like, what would you say is your worst, like the worst things from season 8? Like, and obviously I know you're probably gonna say Carl's death, and I agree with you. But there's other things about season 8 that I would say was just terrible. Daryl was bad. The CGI was bad. The gunfire, the effects were so bad too. Everything was bad. There was no recoil. The quality camera was bad. The choreography for fighting was terrible. The realism was gone too. You have Rick and Negan fighting with walkers all around them, and they don't get bit. You have Rick shooting and missing constantly. That was just horrible. But yeah, that's like my list. East Badger says, I meant Gimple thought that they could do anything involving plot and story. Yeah, the thing is, like, when you're writing a story like this, you can't really do anything because the story and plot have to make sense. You know what I mean? Like you can't take a character like Carl and just make him a pacifist, even though he was, angry all the time, and then just kill him off, like because he just met this pacifist character like one time. I don't know. But yeah, thank you for the comment. Epic Zombie Killer says, yeah, like I hated Daryl in seasons 7 and 8. Yeah, I agree. He just, I don't know what they were trying to do. Like they said they were trying to start like a rift between Rick and Daryl, but I don't know. It didn't make sense because, like, sure, Rick and Daryl fought a little bit, but then Carl died, and then Rick and Daryl were just like split by themselves, after that they were just doing their own things. So I just don't understand what they were trying to do in that scene. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, yeah, season 7 and 8, Daryl was the worst. I mean, that was a time where I was just thinking, I'm like, okay, like why didn't they kill him off, instead of Glenn? And don't get me wrong, I still like now, like season 9 and 10, Daryl. Like I really like him, but a part of me will always be like, well, what if that was Glenn instead? But also, I also think like this is a good Daryl because we've had a terrible one before. We've had season 7 and 8, and those were the worst Daryls, in the story. And yeah, so let's see, it's 55 minutes. We can still keep going if you guys want. I know, and by the way, I appreciate Eastside Badger and Epic Zombie Killer. I appreciate you guys coming to my live stream and talking. You guys are the only ones here. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. So yeah, I'm not ending it like I said, unless guys have to leave. But Eastside Badger says season 8 was bad, also because all of a sudden he, all of a sudden everyone was a Navy SEAL. Eastside Badger, what exactly do you mean everyone was a Navy SEAL? Like, can you give me a couple characters? I mean, I thought the characters were like the opposite. I thought they were being stupid. You know what I mean? Like, there's a scene where when Daryl's crashing the truck into the sanctuary, like there's a scene where Tara is shooting her gun incorrectly. She's shooting it like not placing the rifle at her shoulder. She's just shooting it with her hands in the air, like above her. That's not how you shoot a gun. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the opposite. I feel like season 8 showed that everyone was shooting very stupidly. Um, I just don't know. But yeah, please give me an example because I'm just not sure what you mean. I mean, some characters like Navy SEALs, like Rick. He was horrible trying to kill Negan. Is great at killing, you know, nameless henchmen. But yeah, I hated that. Epic Zombie Killer says Daryl in season 8 was a reckless idiot. Yeah, I mean I agree. Thank you for the comment. I mean, I just don't get, like, they had Daryl do that, and he didn't learn his lesson. Like when you take a character and have him be reckless, you need to, in a story, you have to have that a mistake happen because of that character, so that he can learn from that mistake. You know what I mean? I don't understand why Gimple was writing it like that, because in a story, a character is supposed to go through development. What was Daryl's development in season 8? I just don't know what his development was. I mean, every character is supposed to go through development in the story, but I just don't know what his was. I mean, like Daryl, I don't think he got injured. He didn't get shot. Like, I mean, he's invincible. He just shoots an Uzi on his bike. Just we have to deal with that. Epic Zombie Killer says, also, I hated how season 8 was them saving the saviors, and I was like, no, saviors were bad. They needed to die. I mean, I was kind of like that, except for the part where Rick and Morgan killed those saviors in that, like, bowling alley or whatever. And that's the part where I got, like, really mad at them, because, like, they were clearly showing that Rick and Morgan are no better, if not worse, than the saviors. So, yeah, and plus it was so close to the end of the season, and I just didn't see how Gimple. I don't know if you guys remember, but do you guys remember season 8 when it was ending? We were like, finally, it's ending, but how are they gonna, end all out war? With all these major plot points and all the stuff that they established, and the way they did in the finale was just, it was just disappointing. I mean, what would you guys say was the most disappointing thing in the finale? Like, would you say it was the Maggie, Daryl, and Paul scene, in her office where they're plotting against Rick? Would you say it was, you know, the Eugene bullets malfunctioning and the guns? I mean, I don't know. What would you guys say the worst thing? Oh, Oceanside too. Oceanside, almost burning down the hilltop. I mean, what would you guys say was the worst thing about the finale? Eastside Badger says people that have never been in the firefight all of a sudden knew how to use an assault weapon. I mean, like, people have seen movies, like, they probably know how you're supposed to aim it, kind of thing. But they should have definitely, like, this is why they should have kept Abraham. Abraham could have trained people. Like, I just don't know why they did that. But you say, like, know how to use an assault weapon. I mean, like I said, I feel like the characters didn't know how to use it correctly. Yeah. Epic Zombie Killer says, yeah, like season 8, I hated Paul. I mean, I definitely didn't like enjoy him, but I didn't really enjoy him that much in season 8, honestly. I mean, I just didn't get it. Like, Paul, he wasn't like that in the comic, you know? He wasn't, like, preachy, and I know that's ironic because his nickname is Jesus, and the fans call him that, but I'm just saying, like, that's not how he's supposed to be in the comic. You know, in the comic, he's supposed to be loyal, he knows what he has to do, and he doesn't hesitate. Like, that's who he is in the comic. And, and also, like, Tom Paine, he also probably wasn't happy about the writing of his character because, yeah, I mean, they have him doing the kicks and stuff in season 8, but he's like not using a weapon, and then he wants to give the Saviors chances, and then he fights with Morgan of like letting a guy go who they know is dangerous, and then he somehow convinces Morgan after one talk to stop killing people. Like, Morgan was all, like murder, clear mode. And then all of a sudden, just one talk with him, and Morgan is like a pacifist again. It's like, I just don't understand it. You know what I mean? A character just doesn't do that. They don't just switch like that. Like, they don't just go from having this mindset to the next just by one conversation, They have to go through a change. But yeah, thank you for the comment. Eastside Badger says the Maggie scene was bad, but the Eugene ammo scene at the end was over the top. I'm guessing you're talking about what I said earlier about the guns exploding, because like I had such an issue with that. Like, yeah, Negan tested out one gun, but like none of the Saviors came across other walkers or something like during that time. None of the other Saviors decided to test the bullets, and I don't know. It's just plus like what did like who's the guns too, like um were they all destroyed because like is that why there's no more guns now in The Walking Dead? Um like I wish they established something like that in the story, that because Eugene did that, so many guns are now gone in the future. Like plus we don't even know how many died during that scene. Like, did Eugene actually kill people when those guns exploded? Like, I just don't know. um yeah, I don't know. Um, Thank you for the comment. Epic Zombie Killer says, I just hate how he was trying to save the Saviors, like he stopped Morgan from killing Jared. Yeah, I mean, I had a problem with Morgan, not with Morgan trying to kill Jared, with Paul trying to stop that, because he's not really helping the situation. Like, Saviors are trying to escape. Paul should know that they cannot escape. Like, Morgan should have said, like, this guy hurt me, or he killed someone I care about. He has to die, just him. And then Paul could have been understanding, to that. But they didn't do that. Hi, Dan. Dan says, "Sorry, I'm late, but I'm here." Well, I'm glad you're here, Dan. I hope the audio is okay. I hope you guys don't hear me my like, or I hope you guys don't hear like whispers, or I hope the audio sounds fine for you. But yeah, don't worry. I'm still going for like another hour, so you got about we got about an hour before I have to leave. But yeah, I'm glad you're here, Dan. Epic Zombie Killer says, "Yeah, I agree. Eugene was my most hated character in season 8." Um, yeah, I mean, as far as like my most hated character, I think that goes to Jared. But there were a good amount of hated characters in season 8 that I had. I mean, there was Daryl. There was, I mean, obviously there was Negan, but there was Eugene. There was, I don't know, like, I don't think Rosita was up there too much. Um, but there were a couple characters, yeah. I mean, I just didn't understand what they were doing with Eugene. They were trying to make him, like, which side is he going to go to? You just don't know. But, I mean, the leaks were correct. I mean, I just don't know if they could have hid the leaks better. But, yeah, thank you for the comment. Dan says the audio is great. Well, thank you, Dan. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Epic Zombie Killer says, yeah, like, I don't mind Paul saving saviors that are good, but the bad ones like Jared, who killed Ben, they needed to die. Yeah, I agree, absolutely. I mean, like, there was even a savior who, I can't remember his name, but he was in the closet when Tara and Paul bursted through, and like and he peed himself. Like he had urine on him, and Paul was like, we don't have to kill him. I understood that, but you know he got the jump on Tara and Paul, I think, and um he even like smashed some pills that are like vitamins or something for Maggie. That was kind of weird. Um, and Paul should have known right then and there, like that should have been his moment, to take this guy out. But no, it was Tara who she got the upper hand. And I'm sorry, but like when has she ever had like hand to hand training or fighting? Like like how would she get out of that situation? I thought it would have been Paul, but I don't know. I mean, that's the thing about Paul. He's not supposed to be a moral. He's not supposed to be 100% morally good character. He's not the Herschel. Like he's not like Herschel. He's supposed to be a character who does kill and does what he has to do. He can tell the difference between a good person and a bad person, but they just changed that in the show. I mean, there were some good saviors, and unfortunately, it looks like the show killed off like all the good saviors pretty much, and then they killed a lot of the bad ones, but you know they kill off all the bad ones too, but it was just like it was like 50-50, like just as much. But yeah, thank you for the comment. Dan says my most hated in season 8 were Eugene, Tara, Daryl, Jesus, and definitely Jared. LOL. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for the comment, Dan. Eugene, definitely. And plus that part where he puked on Tara, not Tara. Sorry, Rosita. I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, is this really happening in The Walking Dead? Like I'm like like rubbing my forehead like this cannot be happening. Tara definitely. Thank you, Dan. Tara was definitely also one of the worst characters in season 8. She wanted revenge on Dwight for killing her girlfriend, Denise, and I didn't care. Denise she was literally introduced in season 6 out of the blue, and then she has a couple scenes, saves Carl's life, and I guess Scott's too, and then she gets killed off being reckless and being loud, and then that's it. I didn't care, and when she got shot, I was thinking of like, well, she got shot. I don't care. As far as Daryl, yeah, Daryl was. I can't. I don't know if he. I don't know if Daryl was. Yeah, I would say Daryl was worse in season 8 than he was in season 7. As far as Paul, yeah, he just wasn't written well, and that's probably why Tom Payne wanted to leave. And Jared, yeah, I don't think anyone can hate anyone as much as Jared, like, or at least more than Jared, because like he's a character you're just made to hate. But yeah, thank you for the comment, Dan. Epic Zombie Killer says, yeah, a lot of things in season 8 were rushed and kind of forced, and that's crazy because season 8 was 16 episodes and many of them were extended, but like like remember when Simon came to the garbage people? Boom, like just killed them all off like right then and there. Like all that build up for the garbage people just to scrap them. Oceanside was only in a couple scenes, and they had them come to Hilltop and almost burn it to the ground. Like they were building up all this stuff, and and then it wasn't finished in the first half, and they had to go with it so fast in the second half. Dan says the one thing that wasn't rushed was the dragged out war. LOL. Should have been the half season, not all of season 8. Yeah, I agree, Dan. You probably weren't here. Yeah, you weren't here, but I said they should have combined season 7 and 8 into one slightly bigger season, like 18, 20 episodes for season 7, and it could have been the whole Savior arc, because like a whole season of just a war, that can't be easy on the budget. Plus, like, I don't know, it doesn't make sense, doing 12 issues into 16 episodes. Like, that just doesn't work. But yeah, thank you for the comment, Dan. Eastside Badger says, I couldn't stand Maggie at the end of season 8, her and Daryl. Honestly, like, I didn't really mind that too much, but the Maggie and Daryl scene where they were in our office, like, I didn't really like hate that scene. I just thought, like what could she do? We know she's not going to kill Rick. It just felt like kind of like lackluster ending for the Maggie character at the end of that season. You know what I mean? But I mean, Maggie was fine in season 8. I don't think there was a part or a scene with her that I despised. But yeah, thank you for the comment though. Dan says, yeah, agreed. Even in season 9 a little bit. Um, I'm not sure what you mean, Dan. Do you mean like the part with Maggie, or I'm not really sure what you mean. Um, yeah. Season 9 a little bit. Um, do you mean with Maggie? Yeah, I really don't know. But yeah. Well, looks like we're all caught up now. I'm gonna take a sip of water while you guys, I guess, while I wait for another comment. I hope you guys have a great Christmas plan for each of you and your families. And yeah, I hope it all goes well. Let's see. Epic Zombie Killer says, yeah, like season 7 A, March to War, season 7 B, All Out War, part 1, um, season 8, All Out War, part 2, and season 8 B, A New Beginning. Um, well, I mean, that's a pretty good idea, Epic Zombie Killer, but the only thing is, let's see, how would they exactly do that, because, like, I mean, there's, the whole time skip thing. Plus, isn't that technically still a whole season of All Out War? I mean, like March to War, like being March to War being a whole season like they did in season 7, like that was a huge mistake, And I mean, even just looking at it, like your idea's better than what Gimple did. I mean, he made March to War a whole season, All Out War a whole season, but yeah, I mean, sometimes shorter is better. But as far as like the new beginning being in the middle or the second half of season 8, like there is a time skip, so how would you do that? Make everything look new in just half a season. But yeah, thank you for the comment. Dan says the part with Maggie I'm referring to. I just hated that scene. I don't know why I don't know why either. Just found it frustrating to see her do that. Yeah, you're talking about when she was, I guess, saying to show Rick what they can do, and I didn't understand that. Like it tries to make Maggie sound like they're gonna be the next saviors. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna take guns. Like the Hilltop doesn't have guns. Last time I checked. You know what I mean? That's why they needed Rick's group to fight for them. So I don't know what Maggie was doing in that scene. Like, I mean, Daryl he's loyal to Rick. Um, so I mean, there's a good chance he could tell him, but you never know. And Paul, I mean, he was all for not hurting people and pacifism throughout all of season 7 and 8. So I don't know. I just don't understand why it was those characters. Um, yeah, I don't know. Um, Maybe they should have had the Oceanside people with her, because Maggie, I don't know, she needed support there, and I mean, I don't hate that scene like I guess you did, Dan, but I can understand why you hated it and found it frustrating. Um, it definitely, I guess you can say it was misleading, about what happened because Maggie never got to show Rick, even in season 9, season 10, like she never got her chance to show Rick, you know, how serious she was or how much she meant it. Because in season 9, she just sneaks to Alexandria when Rick's gone and is about to kill Negan, then decides not to. Like that's it. So I don't know. I mean, you think like they really made that scene look like she was gonna plan something major, but not really. But yeah. Um, let's see. Epic Zombie Killer says, I agree. Also in season 9, none of that happened because Rick and Maggie were pretty cool in the season 9 premiere. Yeah, that's true. And it's been like a year and a half too. So I don't know. That's the thing about time skips. You can't just do a scene before a time skip and then a year and a half later and then continue from that scene. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. Like when Sam, said mom in before No Way Out and then they changed that, you know what I mean? So when the episode comes back. So I don't know. It's just they did something pretty cool. Um, I don't know. Like, I mean, Maggie like completely changed. It must have been the whole Canning Gregory thing that just made her more cold. Um, yeah. Dan says, just think if season 8B was a new beginning, Rick only left in season 9A. Rick might have actually met Alpha, which would have been epic. Um, yeah, I mean, it really depends on whether or not Carl was still around, because, like, would Andrew Lincoln would have stayed a little bit longer if, Chandler Riggs, Carl was still around. And plus there was Maggie. I mean, having Maggie meet Alpha too, like that would have been so interesting. Like, I mean, it's changed so much from the comic. Yeah, there's so many things that could have been epic in the show, and I understand it. There's real life issues, but part of me thinks like if they just shorten season 7 and 8 into one season, and then you know Andrew Lincoln would have been in season 8 with the new beginning, and then season 9 could have been more with the Whispers. So yeah, I mean that would have been cool. Epic Zombie Killer says that's why I hate Gimple. His writing is pure garbage. I mean, it definitely is not pure gems. I mean, his writing was really good in season 4. Parts of 5, parts of 6, but then season 7 was just really bad, and then season 8 was really bad too. I mean, season 8 was like I don't know, it was just as bad I think. But Dan says agreed. Epic Zombie Killer. Yeah, I mean, Gimple has wrote some really good episodes, but looking back on them, they just hurt like No Way Out. Like because Carl's dead, like the whole scene with Rick telling Carl he wants him to live, and Carl getting shot in the eye, like all of that now just I don't know. I don't know if your guys' vision of those episodes is now tainted, but mine kind of is. I kind of can't go back and watch those anymore because Carl's dead now. Like I just don't know. You know what I mean? It's kind of pointless. Michonne's leaving. Rick is gone. Carl's gone. Like, I mean, he's dead. I mean, I just don't know. Um, I mean, the garbage people has to be like Gimple's one of his biggest garbage writings. Honestly, Dan says, "I love season 9. How is it at this? Wait, I love season 9. How is it at the same time though?" I'm sorry, Dan. I'm not really sure what you mean. I love season 9. How is it at the same time? Yeah, I'm really not sure what you mean, Dan. Sorry. Um, but yeah, I love season 9 too. I think there was, like I said, some mistakes that were made. A few characters here and there that were killed off, and some characters that weren't killed off. Um, and I feel like they could have explained the whole Maggie leaving and the Michonne X-Scar thing much better. Because it's still kind of confusing to me why that resulted in Michonne and Maggie, I guess, fighting and Maggie leaving. I mean, I just think they could have made that more clear. Eastside Badger says, I haven't seen you. I think it's been a while since I saw a reply from you. But Gimple had a broad vision, but he couldn't execute his ideas. Do you know what you do you know what exactly Eastside Badger like? He had a broad vision, couldn't execute his ideas. Like, what exactly were Gimple's ideas, Eastside Badger? Like, if you do know them, like, I'm sure I know some of them, but if you could remind me, because wasn't season 6 and 7 and 8 like all of Gimple's ideas, at least for the most part? Epic Zombie Killer says, like, yeah, I can't blame people for leaving in season 7. The first half was painful in a bad way. I mean, all of season 7 was torture, but I still cannot think like what was worse, the first half of season 7 or the second half? Because I just don't know. Like all of it was bad. Like Rick's group going to Oceanside to get the gun. Okay, so like Tara going to Oceanside for the first time, that was bad because you focused on a character we didn't know too much about, didn't care about too much, and you had Heath there too, and he left, and you had her go into a community of just women, and they have guns, and then she leaves. And then you bring back Oceanside, and Rick's group take all their guns, and then they give them to the garbage people. Then the garbage people betray Rick's group, and then after they betray Rick's group, that seemed kind of pointless in season 7, because the garbage people have Oceanside's guns at the end of season 7, and then it's kind of like, well, now what's Rick gonna do? Is he gonna have to fight the Saviors and the garbage people? But in season 8, Rick just wants to recruit them again, and it's just such a bad idea. I mean, just why? I mean, and then season 8, Simon executes all of Jadis's people, and I guess he takes their guns. But what I don't understand is what happened to those guns, because Simon and the Saviors, they proceed to attack the hilltop with just their weapons, with just their hand-to-hand weapons. So where did those guns go? Like all of that was so pointless. So I just don't know. um Epic Zombie Killer says, yeah, like in the comics, Rick and the group live under Negan for a little while, but having Negan in the show just constantly beating down Rick, that was a mistake. I think it was a mistake how they did it. Like, they stretched it out just way too long. Like, we were waiting in the first half for Rick to just like make that choice, like he did in the comic. In the comic, after a certain character's death, Rick decides to take a shot at Negan. But in the show, they didn't do that. They decided to stretch it out twice as long, which just was a mistake. I mean, beating down Rick, it kind of makes sense, but not for a whole season. It's just bad. Dan says Tara's episode called Swear was just so boring. LOL. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know if it was. I mean, you have one character, that we know from the previous seasons pretty much, and Heath just disappears. And then you have Tara, and I don't know if it was the acting from the Oceanside women, but it was just, I don't know, it just didn't work right. Plus, like, I don't know, it's kind of contrived too. I mean, the one, like, the one lesbian in the group finds a community of just women. Like, I just don't know. Like, that just sounds like something like fairy tale-ish, Um, and then like they try to kill Tara, but they miss constantly. It's like this is supposed to be a dangerous group like of women, but they're missing Tara like multiple times throughout the episode, the beginning and towards the end. And Tara decides not to tell Rick, and I mean I can understand that, but like still like it was just the episode itself. Like, it didn't have to focus all on Oceanside. Like, they could have shown us a little bit of Heath. Like, couldn't they have shown us him being taken or something? I just don't know. Eastside Badger says the Tara episode was really bad. How did Tara deserve a whole episode? I cared little about her character. Yeah, Eastside Badger. I mean, she was fine in season 4, 5, but then season 6 she started getting really, really boring as a character. I don't know why they decided to make Denise gay and just do a whole relationship with Tara, because like it just felt very forced. Because Tara was in Alexandria in season 5, Denise was nowhere there, and I don't know, it just feels forced to just start that relationship immediately, and then like Denise dies, so it's like, well, what does Tara do now? And you know, and she misses out on so much of the Negan introduction, and I don't know. Like, I didn't hate her character, but I was starting to in season 6, and then 7 and 8 just got so much worse. But to be fair, like when she was introduced, she was an interesting character who wasn't in the comic, But I think that she stayed on way too long. Thank you for the comment. Dan says, "Yeah, I know, right? It's like maybe they should have had Daryl or Carol go to Oceanside instead." LOL. Yeah, I mean, it really just should have been someone else instead of Tara. Like, I just don't know. I just don't know. Was it just because the actress Alana Masterson, like, she was having a scheduling issue? Like, I just don't know. And couldn't they? If I don't know. I mean, I wish they could have kept Heath or some, like, just had another character there. I mean, like, that was like the whole episode was just, there wasn't a guy in the whole episode. I don't know. It just felt off to me. Yeah, thank you for the comment. Epic Zombie Killer says, but yeah, I think that episode has a little meaning since Tara is gone now. I can kind of see that, Epic Zombie Killer. It's just that, like, it's not just like one episode. It's a lot of like weird plot moments too. Like, were the Oceanside people really trying to kill Tara? Because like they're terrible shots, and it just everything felt forced. I mean, she fell off the bridge. She somehow got to the ocean. I don't know. It's just looking back on it, like, I mean, yeah, Tara's gone, but the thing is, not a lot of people, are broken up about her death, and I'm just saying, like, the episode, I feel like they could have just done it a little bit better. But yeah, thank you for the comment. Dan says, I actually miss Henry even more than Tara. Yeah, I mean, I miss Enid and Henry more than Tara. Dan, like Henry, I think they should not have killed off in the season 9, episode 15. And as far as like Tara and Enid, like Enid, I was surprised, but Tara, I was just thinking, I'm like, I was enjoying her character in season 9, but I'm like, they actually did it. Like they actually killed off Tara, and I heard that they weren't going to, because like a backlash or something, but they actually did it. Epic Zombie Killer says, my opinion, Tara in season 9 was a good character. I liked her. Yeah, I agree, Epic Zombie Killer. I mean, they were making Tara, as well as many other characters in season 9, likable again, thanks to Angela King's writing. They made Daryl, Eugene, Rosita, actually Paul too, I think. Tara and just all those characters more likable. And yeah, I mean, Tara was getting good in season 9, but in a way, like, I mean, they killed her off, and I think it was, the right time. Um, Dan says, yeah, I liked her in season 9, but then she died, and it's like, come on, she's finally doing something, lol. Yeah, I mean, that's when The Walking Dead kills off characters. They make us like them just a little bit more. Like The Walking Dead doesn't, like, they don't, they rarely, kill off a character when we want them dead. They have a character, write them bad, and then keep them around, and then when the writing's good for that character and we like them again, they kill them off. So yeah. Thank you for the comment. Eastside Badger says Heath is rumored to return in the movie. Well, I hope he does return. Corey Hawkins, because I know there's like a scheduling issue and contracts and all that, but I hope he returns. He's got to. I don't know what's going on, but he needs to come. I mean, he needs to show up. It's necessary. I mean, I don't know what contract he signed, but he can't just run from The Walking Dead, can he? Like, he signed up on there. I just don't know. The whole Pike lineup was weak besides Henry. I kind of agree with you, Eastside Badger. I mean, like, as far as Henry, I don't think it should have been Henry. I think it should have been Ezekiel. But like as far as Tara, I agree. Enid, I agree. That shocked me. That surprised me. As far as the Highwaymen, I think that was a mistake too. The Highwaymen were so new. I mean, why not kill off Scott and or Eduardo or Cal? Like where are those characters? Plus, like when they killed off Francine, Negan's like last wife, from the sanctuary. Like some people didn't know who she was. And plus they killed no one from Magna's group. That was also a mistake. I mean, the Pike lineup was good. It was well done, but the characters they had there were a mistake. And I think the main one was having Henry because he was just starting to become a character. But yeah, thank you for the comment. Dan says, I hope so because it's been driving me crazy. Like he's been gone when then nobody talks about him at all. By the way, talking about Heath. Yeah, I mean, that was also an issue in season 7 and 8. I mean, Scott, like, aren't Heath and Scott best friends? Like, some of the things in the show just boggle my mind. Like, the show says, or the wiki says, that Barbara, who's an Alexandrian, has kids. And they died when Negan bombed Alexandria. But do we see her having a scene where she's, a motherless, person now? No, we don't see that. We don't see Scott being upset that Heath's gone. We don't see Mikey being upset that his father Nicholas is dead. Like, we don't see these scenes with the Alexandrians. Like, when a character goes missing or dead, we don't see people's reactions anymore. Like, I just don't understand that. Like, maybe you guys can explain it to me, but how can a character go missing or die in Alexandria and just we don't see the closest person that they know have a reaction? Like, that's just, I just don't know. It's gotta be a mistake, right? Epic Zombie Killer says, oh, hold on. Sorry, Epic Zombie Killer, I've been getting all these stupid pop-up ads. Let's see. Epic Zombie Killer says, also, that's why I hated Gimple. He screwed over Josh McDermott. He had to delete his social media because Gimple made him a likable in Season 8. Yeah, I mean, I don't okay, so I would say Gimple is partially to blame for that, but I also think it's unfortunately the toxic fan base in The Walking Dead because like you guys are great, but and we're all great, but there is a toxic level of fans in The Walking Dead. You know, there's the Carol Darrow shippers who, if you don't like their ship, they will come after you, like kind of thing. And it's just it's scary, like, and it's I don't know if it's laughable, but it's scary. There is that toxic level of fan base, and I will admit I didn't agree with Gimple's decision to make Eugene and like a villain in season 8. I think that they should have stuck what they did in the comic. But yeah, thank you for the comment. You also say, well, not all the highwaymen are dead. Well, yeah, that's true. Like there's like a few of them left, but we only saw one of them in season 10. Um, you know what I mean? Like I don't think they should have killed off the highwaymen in the lineup, like the two guys. And the thing is, we don't know how many highwaymen are there. You know, like but like we know two died, and then Negan killed another one, Margot, and there's another guy, but where are the rest of them? You know, so I just don't know. Dan says I felt so bad for Josh when I heard that a few years back. Yeah, I mean that's gotta be. I mean that's gotta be tough. I mean he came to the show season 4, has to play this unlikable character, and then he finally is getting his chance to shine, or at least he should, and Gimple writes him to be a traitor. Like I just don't get it. Like um, toxic fans. Yeah, so Gimple's writing definitely is a mistake in that, but also the toxic fans because you know the thing is we are a community and we don't tolerate that. You know, toxic fans. It's not right. You know. Dan says, I love how we're just talking about how bad season 7 and 8 are. Thanks, Gimple. Yeah, Dan. I mean, we could talk about other seasons being bad if you want. I could, get my list for everything wrong with season 5, 4, whatever. Um, but, yeah. I mean, earlier we were talking about, like season 10 to 12, but I'm pretty sure you missed it. But yeah, I guess that's what happens when the stream's been going on for an hour and a half. But yeah, Eastside Badger says Walking Dead fans can be crazy. Remember JDM's death threats? I didn't really hear about that too much, Eastside Badger. I mean, once again, I mean that's partially Gimple's fault for going too. I think he went too far in the premiere of season 7. It just should have been one death for the Negan lineup, and just I don't think it would have been as bad. The fan backlash. Some of the fans are justified in having a backlash, but when you send the actor death threats, that's when you're going too far. I will not support that. I like. I care about Glenn. I miss him, but you cannot tell the actor of the character who killed the person you care about to kill himself or whatever. That is not tolerated. Dan says, Josh, Eugene got those as well. It's like, come on, it's Gimple doing this plus it's TV. Um, yeah, I just don't know. Like, part of me wonders, like, can some fans distinguish the difference between, you know, real life and, you know, a TV show? Because, like, The Walking Dead, yeah, it's really good, but it's still not real. Epic Zombie Killer says, like Dude Guys always says, an actor, you can't control your lines. You're forced to read the ones you're given. Um, yeah, but can't the actors like have a problem with how they're being written as a character? Because like I'm no expert, but if you're writing a story, if you're reading, your script for the character, and you say you have a problem with this, can't the writers change it, like make it more make it better suited to you, like suit your needs better? Because I'm not saying like to be the main character, but I'm just saying like you know um, sometimes you're given something. I mean, look at the actor for Jared. Um, I mean, did he give death threats? I mean, he, he did what he was, told to do, and it worked. But for Eugene, he's been on the show for 3, 4 years, and then he's being told to be a traitor. And I don't know. I would have, if I was him, I would have tried to ask Gimple and said, "Hey, in the comics, I'm doing this. Why can't you have me do that? Aren't you worried that it's not going to go well in the show?" So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, thank you for the comment. Dan says, exactly, it's not Negan in real life. Yeah, Dan, I mean, it's. I mean, we don't talk about this too much, but there are toxic fans in this fan base, and obviously none of them are here, but there are a lot of them on social media, and like places like Twitter, Facebook, whatever. There's a lot of them, um, and yeah, they get angry, and I mean really angry. So yeah, that's not right. I mean, yeah, I hated Negan when he killed Glenn, but I didn't bash on the actor. Do I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan is too skinny to be Negan? Yes, but I'm not saying death threats to him. Eastside Badger says, I think fans start to think a show is real life and it becomes an obsession. I mean, like, I used to be obsessed with The Walking Dead. I still am, partially, but I I know it's not real. I'm not having a problem. I mean, like, there's a lot of characters I don't like in the show, but I don't go to the actors and bash on them. Like the actors for Nicholas, Jared, Eugene, back in season 7 and 8. Like, I don't bash them just because I don't like the writing of their character or they're made to be hated. I don't do that. It sucks. There should be no tolerance for fans who do these kind of things. Dan says all these hated characters are not them in real life. Like, use your head, people. LOL. Yeah, I mean, I agree, Dan. I mean, these fans should really use their head, because I just don't know. I mean, like, they're allowed to watch The Walking Dead. I don't know how old they are, but they're definitely not acting like the audience they should be. Because The Walking Dead is a mature show, and they are not acting mature in the slightest. Epic Zombie Killer says, my opinion, The Walking Dead season 10 has been good. I have enjoyed this season. Well, I think it's been good too, Epic Zombie Killer. I just don't think it's been great like season 9. Because the first half of season 9 was like really good, like great. But season 10's first half was just good, kind of slow. Slow, I would say, it was slow. Um, but slow is not bad. Um, but yeah, season 9's was definitely better, honestly. I hope the second half, makes up for it, because I don't know. We really don't need another season 8, honestly. Yeah. So now we're in 36 minutes. Yeah, we can keep going if you guys want. Dan says, I still like season 9A more, but season 10 has been decent. Yeah, I mean, like, it's still been good. Just not great. I mean, like, the Sadiq part, I did not really see coming. I thought, like, oh, they were gonna show that he decapitated Enid, and I was gonna hate you, Sadiq, but they didn't do that. You know. Um, but yeah. So while we're caught up now, I'm gonna take another sip of water. Yeah. Season 10 has been feeling a little Gimple-ish. Lots of slow building. To a war. But at least Angela King did not make all of season 10 be building up to the Whisper War. At least the second half, we are finally getting to the Whisper War. I mean, I can't imagine um, if all of season 10 was building up to the war. I mean, I can't imagine what I would do. Oh my gosh, the fans would be so angry at Angela King. I mean, like, not angry enough to send death threats, hopefully, because you can't be that angry, but definitely angry enough to say, like, you are making the same mistakes that Gimple did, kind of thing. So, oh, Eastside Badger says season 10A has been good, just not great. I think season 10B will be great. Yeah, I hope so too, Eastside Badger. I mean, it really depends on how they write it. Do they write Maggie in a way that makes sense when she comes back? Do they kill off the right characters? Do they do a good job with the war? I hope they don't do something where, like, characters have alpha and they're about to kill her, but then something happens to stop them, like what happened in season 8 with Rick trying to kill Negan. Like, I hope the fighting is realistic and it just makes sense. So thank you for the comment. Epic Zombie Killer says, my only pet peeve is how every time a major character dies, people complain, like Sadiq, like people are forgetting that characters dying is a part of the show. Yeah, I think the problem Epic Zombie Killer was that Sadiq, people thought that they look at Sadiq like Carl's adopted son or something. Like, I know that sounds funny, but like Carl died to save Sadiq. So, like, what was the point of Sadiq if you think about it? I mean, some people don't know. Like, sure, he helped a couple people, but did Sadiq do anything amazing? I guess he delivered Maggie's baby, Herschel, but maybe even Jerry's kids, but like people don't really think of that. Um, Sadiq just patches up a few people, and that's pretty much it. I think people thought that Carl was gonna live on forever. Survive the whole show, and because he died and Sadiq lived. Carl died to save him. People thought that Sadiq was gonna then live forever, just like Carl was originally supposed to. But I mean, look what happened with Henry. That doesn't happen. Even if you use a character to replace another, they don't live long. Um, but as far as Sadiq dying, like, I was okay with it. That was shocking. But like, could they have waited a little longer? Maybe, but I was okay with it. Dan says love 1003 a lot though, but the other episodes are kind of meh. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they are kind of meh. Especially episode two. Like, I cannot stand episode two at all. I think like it feels very Gimple-ish. Like I just roll my eyes in the episode. Um, it's like season 7, episode 6. Like, swear, like it's like the Terra bottle episode. It's not a good episode. Um, Eastside Badger says, "I hope Maggie isn't a villain either. Like she comes back and tries to take over." Um, oh my goodness, yeah, that would be a mistake. Um, like taking another character who's supposed to be a good guy in the show and turning them into a villain. Um, so yeah, I hope it doesn't happen either. But they need to explain why Maggie has been gone so long and what she's been doing. They need to establish that. Epic Zombie Killer says, "Well, pretty much it's been 8 years in the show's timeline since Carl died. Um, he had a lot of time to honor Carl. Um, yeah, he did, but like he didn't really protect anyone, did he? Like, actually, it's also been like it might have been like yeah, it's been like 8.5 years, but yeah, that's true. It's been a long time, but it's just that for us, it wasn't that long. For us, it was literally like 2 seasons. Like that's it, even less. So people were just like, "That's it. That's all we get of Sadiq." Because in the second half of season 8, Sadiq wasn't used that much. Season 9, he was used a little bit more, and then season 10 a lot, and then he just died. So yeah. Um, Dan says, "I'll hate her if she tries to do that. Like, come on, you just left your people to go see Georgie." Yeah, I agree, Dan. I mean, also Maggie's like probably at the Commonwealth, so like, what is she gonna take over? Like, what does she intend to do? Like, does she want to finally kill Negan after all this time? Because it's like, why do you want to take over? Do you want order? Do you want control? Or do you want to kill Negan finally? Like Maggie, you know, I mean, I hope not, because it's like, you know, taking Maggie, making her like, I get it, she's the widow, but having her leave and then come back as a villain just because she gets power is like, I can't believe this. Like throughout The Walking Dead, from season 2 to now, our vision of Maggie will be tainted forever. Like Glenn will be disappointed in her forever. I mean, it's just, I hope that doesn't happen, Dan, and I'm sure it won't. I think Angela King knows that if she brings back Maggie as a villain, then fans are going to be pissed. They're going to be super angry, and honestly, who can blame them? Um, you just can't do that. You can't just have a character be gone for 2 years and, you know what I mean, just have us accept that. You just can't. Yeah. I'm sure it's not going to happen. But yeah, Maggie did leave to go see Georgie, and that's definitely one of the issues that Maggie um, is having with the fans. Dan says Negan will not take her seriously if she tries to kill him now. LOL. Yeah. Negan will probably be like, it's like, well, it's about time. Like, what? It only took you like 7 more years, to finally have the guts to. You know what I mean? Like, oh boy, it would have been like 8.5 years after Glenn died, and just Negan would be like, "Are you serious?" Like, like I don't know. That would be crazy. I mean, no one would take Maggie seriously if she now decided to kill Negan. It just wouldn't work. I mean, So I don't know what they could have. Like I said, you can't have Maggie come back as a villain, at least not 100%. Um, and I mean, honestly, I think she's going to come back as kind of a politician, honestly. Because if you guys read the comic and seen the last issue, you know how pretty much it ends. Uh, Thank you for the comment, Dan. Epic Zombie Killer says, my opinion, they need to do a Here's Negan for the show. Um, the thing is, Epic Zombie Killer, shouldn't they have done that like sooner, like season 7, 8-ish, or season 9? Because they already did Alpha's backstory. So showing Negan's backstory too, I don't know. It just would be wouldn't it be kind of redundant? Plus, we've seen it. Negan even said, "My wife died of cancer. I was cheating on her." Like he already said most of it. Um, I don't know. Plus, there's an issue. Jeffrey D. Morgan, or at least Negan. Negan is a lot older now, so how would they make him look younger at the beginning of the apocalypse? There's an issue with that. He's not. That would be like, how do you make Carl look like he did in season 1? If you brought Chandler back, you can't do it. So yeah, there's a bit of an issue. I don't think we're going to see it though. Dan says, I would love to see a Negan flashback episode. We need that. Um, I feel like though it's kind of too late now. We've had Alpha's backstory, so I just don't know. A Negan flashback. What would be the perfect time for that though? Because like if we were writing it, where would we have it? Plus, a Negan flashback might take us out of the experience. We're about to start the Whisperer War soon in the second half, so are we just gonna have a Negan flashback in the middle? Because they did that with, the Alpha flashback, and obviously I hated that episode, and many other people didn't really like it, and they thought it was badly placed, in the season. All right, I see. Stream's been going on for an hour 46 minutes, and we have I think like 2 people left on here. We're gonna wrap it up soon, just so you guys know. So if you have any last comments, yeah, please get them out. Epic Zombie Killer says, well, they could use CGI to make him look younger. Yeah, but The Walking Dead CGI isn't always the best. Epic Zombie Killer. There's only so much CGI can do. Um, I mean, it could work. It's just that sometimes it looks bad, like really bad, and you don't want to make that mistake. Um, Dan says, but yeah, it's a bit too late. I agree. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know where you could have fit it in. It could have been season 7, season 8, or season 9, but now season 10, it's kind of far. Epic Zombie Killer says, I think it'll work if they made a Here's Negan movie. Let's see, there's a bit of an issue with that. Kind of. So, like, would Jeffrey D. Morgan have enough time to film a Negan movie and do The Walking Dead? I mean, he probably. Oh, sorry. My microphone. They probably would have. He probably would have enough time, but um, like, I mean, there might be a scheduling issue. You never know. Because Jeffrey D. Morgan, he's doing. Is he doing another role this year? He might be. But yeah, I mean, they could do a Here's Negan movie, but they're already doing a Rick one. So I think people want to see the Rick movie more than a Here's Negan movie. Yeah, I mean, we don't know how good the Rick movie's going to do or how poorly it's going to do. So I think we need to see the first Rick movie and then maybe Here's Negan. Dan says there's a lot of Negan haters though, so that's probably why they haven't done that all these years. I mean, maybe. Yeah, that's why. I mean, like I said earlier, that's why they shouldn't have killed off both Glenn and Abraham in the same scene. I mean, that's why they shouldn't have done that. Um, yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I mean, you can make Negan protect girls, dogs, but it doesn't matter. Fans are still gonna hate him for what he did just in that scene. Um, I mean, yeah, it's just tough to say. I know Negan is a lot of people's favorite character, even yours, Dan. I remember you did your top favorite characters, and Negan was pretty high up there, on the list. Um, and like, I really don't know if Negan. I wonder how many seasons he has left. Epic Zombie Killer says, I don't get why people hate Negan, like him killing Glenn and Abraham. That was a long time ago. I mean, yeah, in both the show and in real life, it's been a while, but the thing is, Epic Zombie Killer, like, Glenn and Abraham, like especially Glenn, like everyone, like a lot of people identified with him. A lot of people liked him. Glenn had a dream, and we had that too. He didn't want to survive. He wanted to build. He wanted to build a family, and there was something about Glenn that just there was very hopeful, and plus the way Negan killed him too. He did it just to prove a point. He didn't kill Glenn. He didn't have to do it. He killed Abraham to get back at Rick for killing all his men, but he killed Glenn just because Daryl disrespected him. He took a life that we cared about so much just because of one mistake Daryl made. You know, um, I'm just yeah. Plus, like 5 million people left after Negan killed Glenn. So, I mean, yeah, Glenn, was really loved. Dan says, just kill Abraham and keep Glenn. You would probably keep your 17 million viewers as well. LOL. Yeah, I agree, Dan. And oh man, I think I would have loved that so much. I mean, Abraham. Yeah, I would have been sad when if he died. But um, the thing is, like they said in The Walking Dead, they want The Walking Dead to go on multiple seasons. But how is killing off two very important characters in the same scene? How is that good for the show? Um, I mean, they should have known that Glenn was a big part of that 17 million viewers. I mean, like the audience for The Walking Dead is like 18 to 24-year-olds. The main audience. Sure, you got some young teenagers there, but mostly it's young adults who watch The Walking Dead. And when you think of a young adult in The Walking Dead, you think of Glenn. Glenn is that character we identify as. You know, he's that character we want to root for. Even when Rick is going crazy, even when we're telling him, "Hey, Rick, you gotta calm down." Glenn is that character who we don't have that issue in. Um, but yeah, I mean, seeing Glenn now, that would have been amazing. But unfortunately, we never got that. Epic Zombie Killer says, yeah, like Negan said in season 2, episode no number 2, that didn't need to happen, but Daryl forced his hand. Well, yeah, but yeah, that's still contrived though. Like, I don't understand why they had Daryl. You know what? I do. They had Daryl get shot by Dwight in season 6 just for shock value and that bad CGI blood, ending. Um, in episode 15 of season 6. They just wanted to spark up ratings, and I just don't understand that. And they had Daryl who got shot in the shoulder and punched Negan. Like, why? Um, that's so fake. If you are shot, you cannot just um if you're shot, you cannot just, stand up and punch someone. You just can't do it. It just does not work. This is real life. The Walking Dead should be like real life. Not like that. Dan says, love Daryl, but why? Yeah, I agree, Dan. I mean, even now, looking back on it, my every time I see Daryl, I just think of, you know, like it just hurts thinking that he's the reason that Glenn is gone. Like, yes, it's Negan too, but Daryl made that choice, that direct choice that led to that. And Daryl could have got everyone killed. It just hurts. Giuseppe De Rosa says, Brian Keem. Hi, Giuseppe De Rosa. The man, the myth, the legend. It's good to see you, Giuseppe De Rosa. And you probably don't notice, but I'm using my Xbox One headset to talk, and hopefully it has better audio. I think you gave me that idea, and if you did, I'm pretty sure you did. I just wanted to thank you. Giuseppe De Rosa says, so Dan, do you need any mods yet? Oh, I meant Brian. Um, well, not yet. Not yet, De Rosa. I mean, I appreciate it though. I will think about it, but we only get like 4 people on this stream, on each stream, so it doesn't get too bad. We talked earlier about how there are a lot of toxic fans out there, but obviously I mentioned that no one here is a toxic fan. Um, but no one is bullying each other. No one is saying any spoilers or anything. Everyone here has been great, and yeah, I appreciate it. But I will keep that in mind, DeRosa. So thank you. Um, let's see. Epic Zombie Killer says it would have been better if Daryl tried to punch Negan, but he couldn't and fell due to blood loss. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, why do I keep saying that? I do. They had Daryl get shot just for shock value and just to drive the fans crazy that, oh, Daryl got shot. That means Negan's not gonna pick him. Like, it's just they just wanted to hype it. It just doesn't work. Um, DeRosa says, yeah, it sounds a lot better, brother. Well, I'm glad. So DeRosa, I'm gonna give it. Let's see. I'm gonna give us like I'm gonna wrap it up soon. 5, 10 more minutes. Yeah, I'm sorry that you just got here and I have to wrap it up soon. I've been going on for almost 2 hours. So yeah, if you have anything you want to talk about, just put it in. You know, Dan says, it's okay, man. LOL. DeRosa says, real Walking Dead fans are all right here. Well, thank you, DeRosa. I appreciate it. Yeah, no one here is bullying others, and all of us agree that if someone sends death threats to an actor just because they don't like the character, that they're immature, and they shouldn't be watching The Walking Dead because they can't distinguish the difference between real life and, fiction, a TV show. So yeah. Um, DeRosa says, we are the OGs. We stay till the end, unless it's fear. Yeah. LMAO. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna still watch Fear, honestly, because I said I'm just watching for Alicia, but I am losing interest in Fear. It's really bad. But I mean, I'm gonna watch Fear, and plus, like, I have to make my reviews and just write those text jokes in it. I just have to. It's like that's part of the fun in the reviews, just writing it. Dan says, very true, we all love The Walking Dead, maybe even too much, LOL. Yeah, maybe, but who's to say? Epic Zombie Killer says, yeah, my opinion, the people that leave because the character dies, that's not a true fan. Yeah, and unfortunately, like, I get called out, or I'm sure a lot of us do that. If you criticize The Walking Dead, you're not a true fan. If you don't like what they do here, you're not a true fan. Like, I hate people who say that, or I don't hate them, but I hate what they say because that's not true. Um, you know, that is not true at all. If you have a problem with how they write something, that is constructive criticism because you can say how they messed up and how you would have fixed that. You know, DeRosa says, yeah, hey man, death threats is messed up. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that you can't just do that for Josh McDermott or Jeffrey Dean Morgan. You just can't send them death threats just because you don't like the character. Fear is so LOL. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't understand how it's going this bad though. DeRosa, Tom's death was hilarious. Yeah, I mean, a selfie death. I mean, come on, like that's so bad. Dan says Rick was my favorite, and I'm still here. LOL, I'm a true fan. Yeah, I agree, Dan. You are a true fan. Fan. Um, yeah, you are. And you talk about The Walking Dead, the good and the bad. Dan says Tom's death was just as pathetic. LOL. Yeah, I mean, I just don't get it. Like, this is a zombie apocalypse. They're like 3.5 years in the apocalypse, and you have characters doing stupid things. Like, just why? What is the reason? Um, I just don't know. They act like he died for some major cause, and he died being stupid. I'm sorry. It's just he died doing a stupid thing. I just don't get it. And his death doesn't do anything for the story. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't lead anywhere. Yeah. Eastside Badger says, well said, Epic. I read where a fan said if Connie dies, they're out. Like, WTF. I mean, it's possible that they're just saying that just because, a lot of people say if Jerry dies, we riot, all that stuff. But you're not going to see an actual riot happening in the streets like if Jerry does die in the same night of that episode. But I mean, I do like Connie. I really hope she doesn't die. I think it's a mistake to kill her off at this point. She's still fairly new, and even though she is mute and deaf, she's still one of the most interesting. I think the most interesting in Magnus group. Epic Zombie Killer says, yeah, Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 made no sense. Awful writing, dumb decisions, just pathetic. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we can honestly write better than that. Like I said, they should have done the CRM Outpost storyline. That just would have been so much better. DeRosa said, let's get me and Dan and Brian Akeem, and we'll do a better job than Fear. I mean, if you want DeRosa, if Dan's cool with it, I mean, maybe we can do a series that is like Fix Fear. Yeah, let's call it Fix Fear if you guys are into it. That's definitely something. Um, yeah. Um, let's see. Dan says Althea needs a YouTube channel. LOL. Imagine the hate. Oh my gosh, she would have so much dislikes. Eastside Badger says Negan movie would be a good idea, but come on, but AMC only. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess. Let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, just give me a second. Oh, sorry, made a mistake. Let's see. Come on. Let's see. Sorry guys, just trying to do something. There we go. All right. Let's see. Dan says I'd be up for that. Epic Zombie Killer says like what Gimple said. That was a lie to get people to watch Fear. Yeah, it was a lie. Um, and let's see. DeRosa says Brian, you should call up AMC and at them LMAO. Well, I don't know if they would listen to me, unfortunately, but I mean, I kind of need some more support, but yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, but yeah. Thank you for saying that. The Rosa says for Fear's poor writing. I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, the writing for Fear is pretty bad. It just stinks. You can say something like, I can write better, and you'll have someone say, well, why don't you do it? And it's like, well, I would. AMC, give me the job. Dan says hashtag Fear is dead. Yeah. So you guys know I'm gonna wrap it up really soon. Just a couple more minutes now. I have to wrap it up. So DeRosa, I'm sorry you arrived late. Um, I'm sorry I have to end it, but yeah, I think I need to wrap it up soon. Um, I'm really tired, and I think I'm starting to get a headache. The stream's been going on for 2 hours, and yeah, so just a couple more minutes, a couple more replies here and there, and yeah. But thank you all so much. I have like 5 people on here now, and 3 likes. I appreciate it so much. Let's see. Dan says, but we could fix it. Oh, we can, Dan. Can we fix it? Yes, we can. DeRosa says, I got your back, Brian. Well, we'll call them together. LOL, JK. I wish you didn't write JK. Because, you know, because I would. Eastside Badger says Fear could have Andrew Lincoln and fans would still complain. It's in the thing now to trash Fear. See Trev's Chan. Yeah, I mean, if Andrew Lincoln's in Fear, then people will be like, well, why isn't he in the main show? You know. Epic Zombie Killer says like Isabella better appear in the Rick movies, or that would have been for nothing. I mean, it pretty much is for nothing. I mean, Isabella was in like 1 episode in Fear. I mean, technically 2, but 1 episode really, and then we don't see her again, or the helicopter. Let's see. De Rosa says I saw the notification, but I was busy, my dude. Yeah. I mean, I understand. Um, let's see. But I made it at the end. I'm glad you're dead, De Rosa. I appreciate you coming. Let's see. Epic Zombie Killer says, "Have a Merry Christmas, Brian, and have a happy holidays." Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of you guys. You know. Um, this is a very special time of the year, and you should spend it with your family or anyone you care about. Because it's good, for all of you guys. Who you are and your souls, and it's something about this year that brings out the good in people, or at least it should. Dan says, "Yo, happy holidays, everyone." Left a like. Oh, well, thank you, DeRosa. I appreciate it. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think I'm gonna call it here. I really appreciate you guys coming. Eastside Badger, DeRosa, Dan, Epic Zombie Killer. Thank you guys so much. Um, DeRosa says, "True Walking Dead fans." Yep, absolutely, man. Absolutely agree. Yep. I mean, you can't get much truer here, honestly. But yeah. Um, as far as my next live stream, I'm thinking somewhere. Let's see, maybe like before the year is over, or like on January 1st. I'm still thinking about that. And yeah. Wait. Let's see. Epic Zombie Killer says, "Hey Brian, how would The Walking Dead be if it was an animated cartoon?" I think it would be more comic accurate. Like it would be made like the comic, but that depends. Like what network would take it. I mean, an animated cartoon like I mean, it's going to be very mature. Um, but yeah. Um, I mean, an anime cartoon, it would be more like the comic, and actually, it would be very interesting. But I still very much like the show. But yeah, an animated Walking Dead cartoon would be amazing. I would love to see that. So, very good question, Epic Zombie Killer. Thank you. Dan says, everyone who hasn't liked this video, like it. Thanks, Dan. I really appreciate it. So yeah, you guys, have a Merry Christmas. Oh, Eastside Badger liked. Thank you, Eastside Badger. I appreciate it. So I hope you guys, each and every one of you, have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy, these 2 days with your family, friends. I'm gonna end it right here. I appreciate it so much. All right. So have a good night, guys. Take care. Bye.